All right. Hello, hello. We're live. Yep. How are you, Pano? You're still on mute.
Yeah,
There we
awesome.
go.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, good to hear. Well, we've been missing Pano for 2 weeks, but this is our Unity Tuesdays. Glad to have you back. So, good morning and good afternoon, good evening, folks. Welcome to Code It Live. We do a bunch of things throughout the week, but today is Tuesday, which means we get to geek out with Unity. We are actually building a VR world that's a lot of fun. So we are actually half an hour behind schedule today, so my apologies for that. I mean, times are interesting with kids being home, so we are all having to kind of juggle our schedules a little bit. So apologies for that, but glad to have everyone here. So my name is Sam Basu. I'm a dev advocate with Progress Software, and with me I have my good friend and colleague Panayot Cankov. And Pana is actually in Europe, Eastern Europe, and I'm in Northwest Pennsylvania and upper part of US, and we are on screen together because of the magic of technology, which fails us sometimes, but so far so good. So let's start where we left off, Pana. We were building a VR world, and essentially what we are trying to do is, like, we have an absolute beautiful office in Sofia, Bulgaria. That's where our engineering headquarters are, and everybody is missing hanging out at that office. It's just such a nice place to be. And on the 7th floor, we have a beautiful game room, which has pool tables, which has ping pong. It has a beautiful balcony that looks out into the mountains. So we are trying to recreate that a little bit in VR, so we can at least hang out with our friends. So I'll hand it over to you, Pana. You're actually looking at Pana's desktop here. He's driving, and I'm learning. So off you go, Pana.
Yes, thank you. So this is where we left last time. I think you and my colleague Diane added a bit of interaction in the office space. Let me just check it out. What do we have here working, and I'll tell you.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, folks, that, by the way, is an Oculus Quest. That's what both of us have. So what we are building is in Unity. It's for 3D. It should work mostly everywhere, but we are using some XR plugins. I don't think we have done anything like Oculus specific, have we yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we have done some specific things for VR. We have added the XR rig and configure a camera and teleportation, but we used the Unity plugins that abstract interactions.
So on paper and technically it should work on every VR device so far. So what am I looking at? This is a view of the room, but it has that what's the thing called where the camera knows your height and you're not on the floor, the offset.
This is the camera, and this is there is a rig. The rig is basically something like where is placed the VR device, and is usually something like the room you are in, the physical room.
Yep.
And the camera and the main camera is actually the position as you move. So if I move like 1 meter to the left, this main camera will move 1 meter to the left relative to the rig. And there is also options for the tracking. So it's tracking currently the floor, which pretty much means it knows where my real floor is and positions the headset high enough so I can see the virtual reality floor.
Nice.
It's at the same height. Yeah, and if I remember correctly, here is the hands that you and Dido added. Yeah, I'm not sure where. Oh, okay. Oh, so here it is. About my hands. They are
Yeah, and I
the
think
controller.
we also did the thing where like you can rotate in your controller, not have to rotate your head, and it still like moves.
Okay, so if I... Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So we have these snap turns.
Yep.
With the controller joystick, I can rotate, and the index trigger, I see I can actually move.
Yep.
This is...
Teleportation.
Oh, no, I cannot go outside, okay.
No.
So, what I was thinking for today is we can add a little bit of interaction.
Yeah.
You have added a sphere and a cube, but in the office, except with the green area with the tables, we have a few more places where we have this blue area has Xbox and darts and some electronic games. So I don't think that we will be adding a TV with Xbox in VR, but we can try to create
fun.
The darts.
Yeah.
Yes. So let me show you a few things that I prepared. Here in the blue room, we'll just add a new plane. No, not maybe quad. The difference between quad and the plane is that the quad has just 2 polygons, while the plane has like, I'm not sure, 10 by 10. Okay.
How did you make that? How did you make that plane vertical? Like, how is it moving around the y-axis?
Okay. Let's start again. When I right-click on the 3D object at quad, and it creates a quad. This quad is. Let me just pull it closer.
Well, what's quad short for? Like a quadrant?
The quad? Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So it's basically something like a square made of 2 triangles.
Gotcha.
If you create a plane, because a little bit earlier we were adding planes, the plane is made of multiple quads.
Quads, yep.
Yeah, we don't need this. And I have picked a picture of darts. I'm going to add it into our textures, and I'm going to apply it on the quad.
Show me the picture
there
of
the
dartboard.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes, that's...
Looks nice.
Now, it is licensed under the Creative Commons in Wikipedia, so maybe we will have to check what's the license for this picture, but we can always redraw it in, I don't know, Photoshop Paint. So.
Yeah.
And so I think the layout in the office is basically something like this. Okay, I clicked Ctrl and D to duplicate the board.
Oh, nice.
So we have 2 of them. And I will also duplicate a wall.
Wait, where's the second dart hanging off? Like there's... Oh, you're going to put it on this wall, okay.
I'm going to add a wall,
okay.
a specific wall for the dots. The layout is something like this in the office.
Sure.
Here we have the Xbox. I will leave it empty for now, and I'm going to move the... Okay, so I think they're well positioned. I'm just going to round these numbers.
Okay, so speaking of Xbox, can I drop a link that I'm pretty excited about? Let's see. So after about, I don't know how many years, Flight Simulator is back in the Xbox store. This is the Microsoft, the famous Microsoft Flight Simulator. So I'm looking forward to seeing.
I don't know if you have the news, but you said that we are going to target all VR platforms, and basically Windows Mixed Reality is one of the first platforms. So they had a lot of effort going on, and it eventually led to the development of the HoloLens. But HP is now working on a brand new VR headset that will have insane resolution. I mean,
Nice.
it has very nice resolution, so they will try to pack it together with the VR flight simulator,
Nice.
and it's going to be awesome. Basically,
That would be amazing.
VR.
Like you would be like literally inside of a cockpit, and you will have access to all of the gadgets and everything that you do.
Yeah, so you can take a look at the gadgets. You can use the controllers for input, and that's
I mean,
awesome.
you could almost like simulate like a very basic like flight school if you're doing that in VR.
Yeah, it's reverb. This is the headset. They basically
Really
they
for
work
G2,
the
okay.
controllers. Yeah, so they are a new generation of controllers. They are not like the Windows Mixed Reality. They have a joystick and two buttons. Before they had a joystick and something like a touch pad, but it had no buttons. So it will be maybe more suitable for flight simulators, and it has additional cameras. Before the Windows Mixed Reality had cameras in front, just two cameras in front, but now they also putting two cameras to the side. So I'm not sure when it will be available to the public. Yeah, exactly. With better tracking and.
And then the Quest has 4 cameras, right?
Yes, and Rift S has 5. So the Windows Mixed Reality is the first VR. It's not the first, but one of the earliest VR platforms is picking up now.
Yeah, interesting. It's a fun space to be.
Yeah, so okay, so we have the boards here, and I'm going to add something else that I've just modeled. Is
there like a stool you're thinking in front of the boards?
Yes, I will need it for now. Let me just import my 3D model. Unity can import several different file extensions with file formats with 3D models, and I think the FBX is the best one. So look here in the preview. I did a low poly darts, basically darts. We will try to. Whoa, it's big. Okay. I'll just.
Looks like a missile headed towards the office.
Yeah, but no, I'm going to make it smaller. Very often you will pick modeling software that works in something like inches, and when you import it in Unity, that works with metric system. Yeah, but I'm going to make it
nice.
Very close to what it should be. Okay, I think something like that. And we need several. So again, I'm going to London. Okay.
So you're going to use that just to like keep all the darts. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now, you already did something with Dilu here. You created a graph interactable.
Mm-hmm.
It has rigid body and box collider, so we'll have to model something similar on the darts. I'm going to copy this component and basically assign it to one of the darts arrows.
Is there actually hang on one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my throat was choking up. Okay, so what I was going to ask is, like, the two things that we did create, the cube and the sphere, they have
Yeah.
those collision things, and we got grip on them, and we want to recreate that for the same for the darts. And you were saying like we're going to reuse the components or copy over. Is there a way like components can like have a base class so you don't have to keep doing it for every object that is grabbable?
Yes, and I'm not sure that Unity uses something that is called Compositional Inheritance. So what they do is complex objects created by combining together multiple small instances that define their behavior. And this is a good thing, but it doesn't work like we are used to in, let's say, XAML, where you usually have a base class for a component, and when you create multiple buttons, like a toggle button and a button, you will inherit from the base class. What they do here is create these little scripts, and they use the scripts. Now, I will show you something. If I pick this Dart cell and drag it in my prefabs folder, I will create a prefab variant. I can actually edit this prefab variant. Now, look here, I have graph interactable to one of the darts, but I don't have it assigned to the other two. So I'm going to work on this prefab, and then I will create copies of this prefab. So this is something like a base class. Right. It's not a class, but it's a base for. It's close. It has a similar idea.
Yep.
Now we will need some colliders, right? I think we can add Capsule Collider. And
Panayot, before you go on, one quick thing, like on Skype, like is your audio out on the right thing that you want? Like sometimes
I'm not sure anymore.
Skype changes it, right? Okay. Yeah, just like do a quick check. Yeah, on Skype.
Settings.
Settings.
Okay, settings. Here is the audio and video. The button. It is the right thing.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Okay. So we need to model colliders on this little arrow. Here's the thing. Unity can do collision detection between different type of colliders, but if you want to model a complex geometry, you can use a mesh collider with this geometry. The mesh basically is what you see here. All these little triangles that form the arrow and the but there is an issue there. Unity cannot do collision detection between two meshes. Since this has pretty basic shape, it makes more sense to model the colliders around the actual mesh, so we can later do detection between like spheres for the darts, and if we create a chair and use mesh collider for the chair to be able to throw the darts in the chair. I mean,
so you're saying like the dart board has a mesh, and now the dart also has a mesh, and Unity cannot do collision between two mesh, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so this is the center, radius, hair height. Okay. Basically, most of the time you can model something like this. You see it?
Yeah.
And I think it's close enough.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So this Capsule Collider, that's something you just named it, or is it a specific type of collider? I mean, do colliders come in different shapes?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Maybe I missed that.
So when I filter by collider, there are several types.
I see. Okay.
One of them is the box collider. Anything that's...
I'm trying to get away, so yeah, there you go. Now we can see it. My camera was on top of it. Okay, so circle, composite, edge, mesh, polygon, sphere. Okay, I see it.
Yes. I think the Capsule Collider is suitable for the subject here.
Yes.
Okay, we're going back. Now I'm going to delete these two arrows, and I'm going to replicate the first one. Now all of them has the Capsule Collider and the wrap interactable. I'm not sure at this point if I need to add something else for it to work. I think it had to be on a specific layer, grabbable or something. It's on the default layer.
It was, yeah, the grabbable was, I forget what layer it was.
Now let's give it a try. Right.
Interaction layer. Oh, hey, while you are doing this, let me see if I can highlight messages today. Yeah, apparently I can. Right. In the chat room, folks, that's our good friend Dejan. Hello, Dejan. Good to see you. So Dejan is our colleague as well, and Pana and Dejan are both geniuses in this, and so they can take turns doing this. So good to see you, Dejan. Good to see you.
Yeah, awesome.
Let me see. I have a hello voice.
Ooh, hello.
There you go. Good to see you.
Yeah. Introduction layer mask. The problem here is that there is no XR wrap. For some reason, the layers that you created haven't survived source control.
Okay, so then is saying on the XR there's a grab interactable, and it should be set to grab.
Yeah, exactly. Here on the interaction layer mask, this is used to filter the interactions. I mean, the hands are basically something like interactors, if I'm not mistaken, and the objects that you can pick are interactable, and you can configure something like a filter. For example, you don't want to be able to pick a wall and move the wall, so you put this on interactable, but I don't see the layer here, so probably in the project settings there should be something like layers, so I'm not sure. Maybe that layer. There are slots for custom layers, but it seems so. Yeah, okay, I'm going to make this grab layer.
Okay, so I don't know if you are seeing what Dejan's comment is. The direct interactor on the hand and the grab interactable should have the same interaction layer.
Yes, what I'm saying is here on the project set, no, not on the project settings, but when you go to the layers, this user layer 8 was not saved into the scene. When I pulled from source control, it was blank, it was empty. So I just filled the name here. The good thing is that all the configuration is preserved with numbers, basically, so look, it's automatically assigned to grab. And the scene was working fine, just the name was missing from that list. Okay, it's assigned to grab. And
so
I'm not sure.
So with that, should you be able to grab the darts now?
I don't know. I hope so.
Well, let's
give it a try. Okay, oh. I can go to the darts. Oh, the table is too big. And the darts, it's way too big. Now, there are several problems. Like,
baby steps. We got it to pick up. That's good.
Yeah, that's why you have to test a lot. And you have to test early. So what do you think? Maybe they have to be 5 times smaller.
Yeah,
And
maybe.
there's something else.
Maybe not 5,
they're
but
not.
like definitely 2 to 3 times smaller. And
Okay.
yeah.
You stay here. Now, here is the problem. I made just a single capsule collider, but now it rolls freely on the table. Maybe we should add something like a box collider.
I see what the problem is. It doesn't want to stay.
Okay.
So it was okay until we grabbed it, and like, so what was the difference? Like when you started it, it was on the table and it was stationary, but then it started rolling, like, and then it wouldn't stop.
Unity has a set of thresholds, and if an object is moving slower than those thresholds, it will actually stop. So when we run the scene, these objects will fall on the table, but they will not roll and basically go to sleep. When you get it and put it gently on the table, its rotation will be small enough for Unity to say, okay, this is not moving, and to disable the physics for this object until you hit it. We need to do several things. Okay, I'm going to edit the prefab. I'm going to add another collider. I'm just going to add the box collider.
Did you already change the scale? Just a little bit smaller?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to move them. Now, look, we can add multiple colliders on the same object. That should be fine. And I'm going to make a box collider to represent the feathers at the back. And I think I can move it like this. And then another one. Copy component, paste component, that's new. And I'm going to swap, for example, no, not this one.
See,
okay, this one.
You are saying that Unity is smart enough to know that the cylindrical collider can roll. The capsule collider can roll, but the box cannot.
Yes, the box cannot roll. It will, one of the edges will hit the table and will prevent it from rolling like that.
Yep.
Now, I'm not sure what happened with the numbers here. I think it should be basically like this. Oh, okay. And I'm just going to make it a little bit more uniform. Now what we have here is we have the capsule collider, and we have something to represent the feathers, and I'm not going to match it perfectly, but it will no longer roll. And another thing is now I need to make it smaller, right? I'm going to make it smaller. You said 2 times. 2 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to use this as a scale. Hopefully it will work. And there is something else. When I grabbed the arrow, it was rotated in a very awkward way, I think. There should be something to...
Like an axis of like how you hold it?
How you hold it, yeah, exactly. So look, there is a transform that you can provide for a touch transform. I haven't tried this, but I'm going to...
Okay, so I have a super dumb question before you move on to the transform. Okay. So if you were building, if you are building like a web or a desktop application, you know, the thing that we do is if you have a giant image, right, which is very high resolution, and then you scale it all down, and that shows up fine inside of your app, but your app runtime is wasting a whole bunch of memory trying to load that gigantic thing up. So in this case, like with Unity and these 3D models, like when you have something that's big from the get-go and then you scale it down, are we wasting memory, or is that not a concern?
It's you will when you scale it down like this, normally in games you're wasting memory, because when you're running something like a shooter and get a high poly car and scale it down to basically to a toy, you can use a low poly version of a car. But there's something else with the VR. You can get really close to things. I mean, if you have something like a cup, you can take it in VR and bring it like
to your face. Yeah. So like the texture of things is really important. It should not be blurry.
Yes, especially for things that you can interact with, because people will always observe them up close.
Yeah, people will look.
People will look, yeah. Okay, so we have smaller versions, and hopefully I will hold them in a different way, but I'm not sure how exactly.
You're also going to lower the table a little bit. Or maybe we can do that later on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not pointing toward me, it's pointing to the right. Now I'm not sure. This will be a fun thing to do.
This is tricky.
Yeah, but what now? It doesn't roll.
It doesn't roll. Like, that's step one. Good. It doesn't roll.
Okay, so it's pretty close. And I need to work my way to this attachment point. So I'm still holding it. And I have this handle here. I called it handle, and it's attached to the this property attached transform. I think if I just get this handle and rotate it. Oh no, it doesn't work at runtime, so we'll have to figure it out which direction is forward. Okay, so let's give it a try then. I have the dot saddle, and here is the attachment point. When I got the arrow, it was initially it was pointing with the tip toward my elbow, basically.
So like if you just rotate it like outwards, if you make the Z facing outwards, then hopefully the tip of the arrow is going to be pointed away from you.
I think yes. So what you're saying is if we come on, it's not good. Okay, my transform sphere was local. I should be able to. So here is the coordinate system of this thing. The blue arrow is pointing backwards, and the backwards was toward the elbow. So I got this and rotated it. Now I think that if I catch the saddle, it will be pointing forward, like where my fingers are pointing if my hand is open.
Right.
But it should be like something like 90 degrees to the left, maybe something like that.
Yeah, let's try.
Okay, it's thinking 90. Okay, 90 degrees to the left. Let's give it a try now.
And so, like, do all of the darts share that handle? Yeah, I mean they're all copies of each other, right?
They are copies of each other. So each of the darts has a copy of this handle.
Yep.
Okay. Initially it was like that and rotated to the left.
Yeah, now it's facing inwards into your hand.
Yeah.
This is hard.
So
Okay.
this, if I can't get it working in like 2 minutes, I'm going to check the documentation.
No rush. This is part of the
This is the fun part.
charm. Yeah, the struggles.
Okay. It's
yesterday I do a stream on CMS on Sitefinity, and we literally started the stream with an error. Like, why am I seeing this error? And then we just went through and tried a bunch of different things until we fixed it. So, yeah, that's the value. We are sharing how we do stuff as software developers.
no.
It can't be the camera angle, right? I mean, it literally is the touch point.
Oh, look, it's getting close to what I want it to be.
Okay.
At least it's pointing.
It is
like,
pointing away, yes.
Not you. Okay. So 90, 90, 90, and we'll need to add a little bit of offset here. Not in that direction. Yeah, look, it's getting closer and closer, and I think this is pulled too much to the front, maybe 30. Nope.
Yeah,
The other way.
looks okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll play a little bit more later with this one, but I think it's close to.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
What it
pointed
should be.
away. Yeah.
Now there's something tricky with Unity. When I go out of play mode, it will lose its settings, so we have to remember this. I'm going to copy the component. It's basically 26 and 90, 90, 90 in the rotation. Okay, I'm going to edit all of the handles, and I'm going to edit component threads. Now everything should be fine. We have to make the table a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Instead.
Just a little lower.
Something like I'm not sure what is the standard for tables, but like 70 centimeters should be fine.
Yeah.
You asked something about what happens with things if you just scale them down. They either get pixelated. I mean, if you have a very good photo or something and just shrink it down, Unity provides a way to create smaller copies of the big texture. It's called Mipmaps, and it will basically make several smaller and smaller images of the big one, so it can look nice. And on the other way around is when you have a really small image and you drag it to become a really, really big one, it becomes blurry. And this is a problem when we are rendering text. Think about a year ago, maybe year and a half, Unity acquired one of the Unity plugins that is working with rendering text. It's called Text Mesh Pro, and we like to use this in VR. With the original text rendering in Unity, all of the letters were first drawn in a texture and then presented into quads. Quads is similar to these rectangles here. And when you look at the text a little bit closer or a little bit further away, it gets fuzzy and unreadable. So I'm going to add the Text Mesh Pro to our scene, and we're going to add a few texts. I hope with a little bit of coding we can add something like scoring to these boards and maybe the set button.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that we will complete this today.
No,
but
that's fine. Yeah, we can take turns.
Yeah, but the text rendering is important. So in the package manager there's something called Text Mesh Pro. And it's also present in the menus.
Is this
here?
sorry, one question, quick question. Is this package manager kind of like what NuGet package manager is? Like it by default points to Unity's package store? And then, I mean, you can add your own?
You can, I think you can create packages and add custom packages. You can add your own packages by browsing them on the file system.
Right.
We are using this internally to structure our applications. I mean, usable code, we usually create a package and reference these packages in multiple projects.
Yeah.
But if you want to be able to type the name of your package here and for it to appear, it's something like npm. I think it's pretty close to NuGet.
Yeah.
And it's hosted by Unity, but the official packages there are maintained by Unity. So they do things like testing on top of them, and it's not open for everyone. I mean, I cannot put a package on the Unity package manager. Only Unity can add them by default.
Yeah, got it.
There's always the asset store.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the place for third-party plugins.
Right.
The package manager hosts things that are more built into the platform. Okay, so here I can add 3D object, and there is this text mesh pro text. It will ask me to import the package. There we go.
Yeah. What time do you, I'm just completely off topic, like it's, what, past 6. What time do you have dinner, Pana? Like, are you a late eater? Or do you eat before you start?
No, I usually eat in a few minutes, like now.
Like after.
Wait, no. Let's just add a. I want to create a prep app with the Darts board, and I think we will be done for the day. So I have added text, and you can see if I go really close, it doesn't get pixelated. It's like a vector.
Nice.
It's anti-aliased, but
Nice.
It gets curvy, but nobody will be looking at it.
Right,
so
right.
that's
Okay.
so close. Okay, so I'm getting this quad with the
So like
board, and then
compared to like objects which can get like blurry if you like bring it too close to yourself, like the text is a little bit in the control of the game developer. Like even if somebody goes real close to something on the wall, like it's up to the game developer to say how sharp or how big is that text, right?
yes,
On whatever it is, yeah. Like you cannot get any closer than that on the on that dartboard, and it's still crisp.
Here's the thing: if you're developing a mobile game that you're playing darts, you'll probably fix the dartboard like that, and you can go away with the texture. But if you're into VR, some people will try to pick up their arrows from the board and will go this close.
Yeah.
And it's still looking somewhat okay, but in general, when we deal with texts, we will use text mesh pro. I'm going to rename the quad to dart board. Okay, it's thinking now. Dart board. Not sure if I can create an empty object and swap these. No, I cannot. Okay. So I'm going to create a new quad, and
So you want to put the text inside of a quad by itself under the board.
something like that. I want to create something like board that has, for example, two players, some numbers for the player scores, and basic introduction like start a new game, and it will detect when the arrows are hitting it, then it will track something like score points.
Yeah.
This is something that you can find in nightclubs, for example. It's very fun. So what I just did is I'm going to make a prefab with that. So I removed everything from the quote and turned it into basically into an empty object. Here it is, and added the dartboard. I'm going to add the 3D texts, 3D objects like Text Mesh Pro. Now this thing is very big, and I'm just going to scale it down. Like that. Okay, and some text like player 1, another copy that will be player 2. That's pretty much enough for now. They are way too small. Okay, so we can make them like we'll add a checkbox later to show whose turn it is, and when we're hitting the board with the arrows, it will basically add points to player 1, player 2. Nothing fancy, but I hope it will be enough for our multiplayer to be entertaining enough.
Yeah, why did you? That's looking nice.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Why did you add the text to the dartboard itself and not on the wall? Or just like it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter that much. I mean, they are close to the wall, but there is a little bit of space. I don't think that it's so important. I mean, I can create something like a canvas and level it with the board, or I can extend the board downwards.
And like in a way, like if you have to like take this board to another wall, like you have the scoring right there with it.
Yeah, so I created a copy. I just created a copy, and there you go.
Yeah, nice.
They will track scores independently of each of these boards. We have exactly. So you can have multiple players playing together. Or I can throw an arrow on your board and destroy your.
I like it. I like it.
Game. And that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. So, I mean, just maybe theoretically, I don't know, like, were you planning on doing anything more to this one today? Like the whole, like, scoring and, like, where do you shoot? Like, that has to be, like, calculations we have to make, right?
We have to make them, yeah. We can make them next time if you want to end the show. I just want to throw one arrow
let's try it.
On the board. Okay. Oh, the table is smaller, but it's not on the ground, so it's a little bit better, and the board is too big, so... No.
It's too big.
It has to be smaller.
Or maybe like and maybe the offset part of it, like you need to be at a higher camera level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least it's hitting and falling, but then we'll have to see like where it, like if it hits at certain parts, then it can stick, right?
Exactly. So here on the come on, where you are? What this is?
Maybe just the The picky part of me wants to go back in the Dart and just like move the player 1, player 2 text a little bit to the left so they're right under.
Like
Yep,
that?
right there, and then player 1, just move that a little more inside. Yep, perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
Not going to move them further.
Yep.
I think it's okay.
No, that's perfect.
Awesome. Now this is the actual board. It has a mesh collider. I think we can swap the mesh collider with the box collider, but it doesn't matter that much.
So how would you make the whole like the wall? That's a little too high right now, right? So what do you think of making the wall like lower, or like moving the camera up?
No, I wouldn't move the camera up. These walls are really tall, and the last floor of our building is it has a cafeteria. It's not 4 meters tall, but basically this line here is at the center of the wall.
Yeah.
Which means that from here to here it's 2 meters.
I see.
And the whole board is 1 by 1, so the board is big. What I would do is I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, like again scale a little bit. And now the texts are not aligned again, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm going to move something like the setting. If this line here is about at 2 meter heights, something like this should be appropriate for that board.
Yeah.
And now that I moved the children of this prefab, you can see these blue lines here. They basically track the changes. I mean, this and this are different things now. The Unity scene will know that this has been moved, and I can go there and apply the changes to the prefab. And now the other one is the positioning. I just have to apply out of chain, modify component, apply. They will move down there. Okay. And the last thing is you asked how do you make something like a base class. Here I'm going to add, it's not a base class, but it's going to be that board script.
So we can recognize like where it's hitting, right? And do that calculation.
Yeah. It's thinking now. Okay, and apply this component to the prefab. So now we have one instance here and one on the other board. Okay, so you can continue with the collision detection later, but
shall we see it one time? Like, is the position of the board, is the position of the dartboard okay now?
Okay, I'm going to give it a test ride. Now this script that I added, there are methods like on collision enter and on collision exit that are. It's a little bit better. I think it should be a little bit lower.
Yeah, still a little high.
Yeah. Okay, so let me pick my arrow. Should be something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I cannot reach it from here. So basically, we will have to add something like a shooting line somewhere here, and it will be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it very much.
Okay. So this is the The one last thing that I wanted to add, on collision, enter. There are special methods like start and update that are part of the Unity lifecycle. We already checked them,
Yep.
but there is also on collision enter. So this object has information about what's actually hitting it.
Right.
And I'm planning to basically add some logic here for the that arrow. So it will check if that arrow is hitting the board. It will get the point of the collision and register the score. And
Maybe
that's it.
maybe next week, Pana.
Yeah.
Maybe just for me to share a little bit of this fun and like the struggle that I would have just for fun. Maybe you can turn on live share on this particular Visual Studio solution, and then I can write, or I can try to write a little bit of this code.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I will enjoy it very much. Yeah, okay, it's a deal.
Yeah, you can see me struggle through every word, but it's part of learning.
Yeah.
Cool. So just in I think in just the last 2 weeks, the amount of stuff we have added is quite fascinating to me. Like the grab, being able to lift and throw, and today you added a whole table with darts and a dart board. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Yeah.
Nice, awesome.
So what's your evenings like? I mean, and you have kids, right? You have two?
I have two kids. One of them is 6-year-old. The other is a year and a half. So
keeps you busy.
as soon as I end the work from home, we basically go out. I mean, they cannot stay at home. I know about the corona and the quarantine and stuff, but these little kids just cannot stay for months at home.
You have to take them out. I mean, we go to like parks and like nature things or playgrounds where it's like we're not close to people, but kids can at least run around a little bit. Yeah, I was like actually just like before sitting down on this call, my wife was on a class that, I mean, she's a professor, she's teaching a class, and I'm trying to teach our kid how to ride a bike, so I'm just literally running with him. But it's fun. It's how kids learn. So I hope you have a wonderful evening with your family. Go have dinner. And thanks for doing this. Maybe next week, Pana, we can just like plan to have an hour and a half, so that way we can keep going a little longer.
Yeah, okay, that would be fine.
Yeah. All right, so folks, I think that's it from us. We love you. Yeah, we love you. You all know that. So please be safe, be productive, and let's power through. So thank you all for joining. Thank you, Pana, for taking time to build this out. And thank you all, and we shall see you on the next stream. Okay, so that's it from us, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.